Welcome to the continued Spotlight on Education presented by Neosho County Community College. I'm your host, Huntyr Schwegman, and I'd like to thank you for tuning in today as we put a spotlight on the news, upcoming events, and academic programs at NCCC. And in today's episode, we will be spotlighting the Phlebotomy Program here at Neosho County Community College. Sitting in with me first is Jen Brown, the Phlebotomy Program Advisor. Jen, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great. It's nice to be here.
So Jen, we've spoken previously about some of your background, but just to remind people a little bit, how long have you worked at Neosho County, and what is your background within the medical field?
So I've been back at Neosho County Community College, entering my 12th year. Since 1991, my medical background has grown from traditional direct patient care roles to the behind-the-scenes work in health information management.
Now moving into the phlebotomy program, I know quite a few of us have interacted with a phlebotomist at some point in our life, getting a flu shot or getting some blood drawn, but can you maybe describe what a typical day looks like if you are a phlebotomist? What are some of the typical duties that they have, and what are some of maybe the misconceptions people might have about the role?
Well, the daily responsibilities of a phlebotomist can vary widely depending on their work environment. So some phlebotomists work in a large independent laboratory like LabCorp, while others play crucial roles in hospitals and clinics. In a clinic, a phlebotomist might not only collect blood, but also assist with tasks like running urine specimen screens, collecting swabs, performing strep throat tests, things like that. Hospital phlebotomists often move between different floors, drawing blood from inpatients in departments like OB, ICU, and surgery, as well as walk-in patients. So a common misconception is that phlebotomists only draw blood, but their role is really much more comprehensive. They're often mistaken for nurses and not recognized for the specialized training that they need.
In your opinion, what makes Neosho County Community College's phlebotomy program unique, and why would you recommend that someone join this program over a program at another tech school or maybe directly entering the workforce in some other area?
Well, what makes our program truly unique from others is the comprehensive training that it offers. We collaborate closely with our industry partners to identify the skills and applicants off the street often lack. So, for instance, we added the electronic health record course because our advisory board noted that new hires struggled with accessing and documenting in the record system. So our program goes beyond just inserting a needle and hitting a vein. We stress the importance of proper technique to prevent mistakes that could often harm patients. It's unlikely that someone without training would know the correct sequencing of vials or common pre-analytical errors, for example.
You mentioned that Neosho County's phlebotomy program involves kind of the whole skill set training. So that kind of makes it seem like it's maybe a base to move on to other certifications or degrees. So does the phlebotomy certification build towards any other programs here at Neosho County?
Yes, our program does definitely build into other healthcare careers, but for the medical assistant program, with a couple more semesters, they can complete that. And then we do have hybrid and asynchronous online classes that students come one night a week to practice. So that really gives them the opportunity to learn more hands-on.
So for someone who might be looking for a career change and they're currently working full-time, are there options that allow for flexible taking of these classes? Like, are there online classes, in-person, or hybrid classes?
We have our online classes always available. Lab classes are in the evening to accommodate for those adult learners that do have to work full-time. So we're really proud of making this program available to people who are looking for that second career, have the opportunity to practice in a safe environment in the evenings.
So about how long does the program take to complete, and what kind of classes are students going to be taking when they're enrolled in the program?
A typical student completes a program in 2 semesters with a fall start and ending in the spring. The fall semester students begin with fundamentals of phlebotomy to build a solid foundation along with the other online classes. They come back in the spring semester and complete the phlebotomy practice live sticks. After passing the lab course, they can proceed on to their required clinical hours and be in the actual lab, achieving their minimum number of successful sticks to qualify for the national exam.
Find your future today at Neosho County Community College. Become an expert in diagnostic imaging with our Diagnostic Medical Sonography program, or help improve the quality of life for patients with mental, physical, or emotional impairments through the Occupational Therapy Assistant program. Develop a passion for food service management through our Dietary Manager program, or train to take an integral role in the surgical team through our Surgical Technology program. Visit neosho.edu/programs to learn more and find your healthcare career today. You mentioned students having lab time, so what kind of technology or equipment are going to be in these labs that students have access to? And do you guys keep these instruments up to date in what's currently being used in the medical field?
Students have access to the lab classroom with the equipment and the ability to run actual tests on specimens from each other. Every lab setting and available testing offered in facilities varies, but we try to provide the best hands-on experiences possible.
For someone who might be looking to apply for the program, is there anything that they need to be aware of before applying, like prerequisites such as experience in healthcare or maybe some academic qualifications?
We don't have any prerequisites for academics or healthcare experience. We do have some sequencing of courses that build upon each other, but we do our best to find a schedule that works for the student.
So let's say I go through the 2 semesters of classes. What comes next? What kind of certification are students eligible for? What's up with the national exam? How do they actually break into the workforce after taking the classes in this program?
Upon completing the program and meeting all the course requirements, students become eligible to take the registered phlebotomy technician exam through the American Medical Technologist. While they can pursue additional certifications from other agencies, our strong partnership with AMT provides an excellent pathway for certification.
In what specific ways does the program kind of prepare graduates to both pass those exams, but then also meet local and national job demands once they have that certification?
Well, we really try to have a robust program that covers all the many different domains of phlebotomy that the national exam has prioritized. Like many regions across the country, we do face a shortage of healthcare workers, and we hope that our graduates can help bridge that gap. It's exciting to see them continue their education at a university while working as a phlebotomist, because unlike the competition for clerk positions, the pay is substantially better.
Through this program, what kind of partnerships with local hospitals, clinics, or physicians' offices do students have for things like job placement after graduation or maybe internship work while they're still studying?
Well, we've been lucky to have support from our community partners. We've worked with both hospitals and clinics in our areas around the Ottawa and Chanute areas. Several have been hired either during or immediately after their clinical rotation.
And then after a student graduates and passes the national exam to get that certification, what type of settings do these phlebotomists usually end up in? Are there opportunities for further education or maybe specialization? And can you share any success stories of program students that you've had come through here in the past?
Post-graduation, we see a lot of our grads in hospitals and multi-physician clinics. In bigger areas, there's more opportunities, but students that stay in our area usually find themselves in these facilities. Generally speaking, our phlebotomy graduates typically find themselves either in the career path of medical assisting or a medical lab technician. So medical assistants engage, their engagement with patients is very dynamic. Medical lab technicians, though, spend more time working at the bench and less time with patients. So it's kind of interesting how those are kind of the 2 ways that we see students moving on past phlebotomy. But both professions are in high demand. However, becoming a lab technician does require more education, often starting with an associate's degree and potentially advancing to a master's level as a medical laboratory scientist. We've had a recent phlebotomy graduate that was going to complete medical assistant, but absolutely fell in love with the lab. And she's on track to get started in a MLT program. So this is why the clinical rotations are so important, because students can find new pathways that they'd never considered before.
And we spotlight the phlebotomy program here this week during Phlebotomists Recognition Week. So it's always great to have a national holiday, quote unquote, that celebrates you and your program. So how are you celebrating this holiday or helping students to recognize the importance importance of this week during Phlebotomist Recognition Week?
Phlebotomy Recognition Week is an important time to recognize the role of the phlebotomist and all that they do to support the lab and the patients. Often they get miscategorized as some other profession, and they really have an important role that deserves its own week of recognition. We try to take some extra time during the week to celebrate with our students, because ultimately, it's our hope that they get to graduation and they get to fill that important role in healthcare. We also do our best and always apply and hope that our governor will sign the proclamation to recognize the week as well, and we like to share that with our students.
Well, Jen, I think that about does it for us today. I really appreciate you taking the time to come in and help us spotlight the phlebotomy program, because like you said, it is a very important role within the medical field, and I really appreciate you stopping in to give us a better understanding of the program.
I appreciate your time today. We really enjoy the students that are in our program, and as they continue to make it through their education, graduate, and become professionals, we definitely want them to be recognized. We hope that they come back and give to their fellow students in some way as well.
At Neosho County Community College, new classes are starting all the time. Neosho County Community College offers a wide variety of in-person, online, and hybrid courses in 16, 12, and 8-week formats. Don't have time to attend class during the day? We also offer evening classes to fit your schedule. From English and Communications to nursing and career and tech ed programs, Neosho County Community College offers something for everyone. Contact advising at neosho.edu to enroll at Neosho County Community College today. Next up, sitting in with me, I have Matthew Murray, a freshman phlebotomy student from Chanute, to talk about his experiences in the phlebotomy program. So, Matthew, why did you decide to enroll in the phlebotomy program here at Neosho County Community College? And what were kind of your expectations, maybe some of your reservations? And did we meet or exceed those expectations in any way?
I kind of have to go back to high school, to where I started in 2022, starting with the Red Cross as a blood program leader. It kind of resonated with me on what blood can do for people. And as a phlebotomist within the program, you just learn so much more. Everybody just thinks it's just drawing blood. You do a lot more than just draw blood. And so I honestly think that NCC is just a genuinized better program.
You said you're a freshman, so you're only about a semester into your studies. So far, what has been maybe your favorite moment in class, or maybe one of your favorite lessons that you've learned in the program?
Taking a urine specimen, I would honestly say that was probably one of the funnest but weirdest things that we've done in class. Overall, it's really fun because most of your assignments are online. All you have to do in person is just labs. You get that one-on-one opportunity with your teacher that kind of tells you what you should and should not do. And with Chanute being such a smaller school, you can honestly get that more one-on-one, and it helps a lot.
Looking forward as you continue on your path, that I know you said before we started that you eventually want to move down the medical assistant pathway, but what are you excited to learn about, or what area of healthcare are you hoping to enter to use the certification of being a phlebotomist?
I would probably be looking to become a nurse practitioner, but that's 10 years down the line. So there's a lot of schooling. Phlebotomy, you get certified in all 50 states. So you can practically work anywhere, and so you just have a lot more freedoms. Moving into a medical assistant, it's kind of the exact same thing.
All right, Matthew, last thing for you. I want your honest opinion about, would you recommend the phlebotomy program or one of the other allied health programs even to one of your peers or classmates? And I want to know your reasoning behind why you might do that.
Yes, I would. With this being such a small school, you get a lot more one-on-one opportunities with your advisors, and you get pushed to actually do your work, and they help a lot. For what I hear, all the other allied programs are really good. They really do a lot more than a lot of other schools.
Well, Matthew, that's all I had for you. I want to thank you once again for sitting in with me and giving our listeners a look into your experience and a nice point of view of one of our current students here within the phlebotomy program. So thanks for joining me today.
Yes, thank you for having me. It was such a great experience.
Rounding out the episode today, I have here with me Tayah Williams, a sophomore phlebotomy student from Chanute who was named the American Medical Technologists Phlebotomy Student of the Year in 2024. Tayah, thank you so much for sitting down with me to talk about your experience in the phlebotomy program.
Hi, thank you for having me.
So Tayah, just give us a little bit of insight on why you decided to enroll in the phlebotomy program here at NCCC. Maybe what were your expectations entering the program, and did we meet those expectations, or what was your opinion of it?
So I completed the CNA program and loved the experience, but I realized it wasn't quite the right fit for me. Phlebotomy has always intrigued me, especially since I've had my blood drawn so many times. Through my training, I've learned that phlebotomy is much more than just inserting a needle into somebody's arm. This experience has empowered me to advocate for myself as a patient when I've had my blood drawn by someone using poor technique or the wrong order of draw.
So Tayah, since you've completed the entire phlebotomy course track, what was maybe your favorite moment throughout the program, or maybe your favorite lesson that gave you something interesting that you didn't know before?
There are several favorites, but I definitely enjoyed my clinical rotation where I got to be hands-on with the patients. It gave me more confidence in not just getting blood on the first stick, but to find ways to put the patient at ease and lessen their anxiety around lab draws. Also, during the program, I pushed myself beyond my comfort zone by attending state AMT meetings and the national meeting in Virginia. Receiving the Panther Claw Award at NCCC required me to engage in activities such as career readiness, civic responsibility, and intercultural awareness. Although it was challenging, it boosted my confidence to apply for the Phlebotomy Technician Student of the Year Award from AMT. The application emphasized school and profession-related activities, professional conduct, and initiative. So I felt it was relatable to my activities while in the program. Winning national recognition was an exciting surprise. It motivates me to encourage others to step out of their comfort zones. I love inspiring others to start their healthcare careers. I was also fortunate to be a state scholarship winner, and I have really enjoyed getting to know our state board members as they are all very encouraging and supportive of my educational and professional path.
I wanted to hone in on something that you mentioned there, which is about clinicals. You know, earlier in the episode, Jen mentioned that clinicals is a big way for students to kind of find their final ending path within allied health. But for you, how important was it in your journey to become a medical professional, or how did it shape your view of the healthcare field?
I really enjoyed clinicals because in the classroom, you weren't as hands-on as you are in the clinic. The clinic is very fast-paced than what you are used to in the classroom. You get to meet with other people that aren't students or your instructor and get the real reality of things.
Now, having completed the program and kind of moved into some more medical assistant stuff, what area of healthcare are you hoping to enter to use these certifications and skills that you've learned, say, through the phlebotomy program here at NCCC?
As a new mom, I'm taking a short break, but this experience has ultimately guided me toward my long-term goal of entering the field of social work, and I would love to do some more healthcare-related things before that.
Through all of your experiences here at NCCC, would you recommend the phlebotomy program or maybe one of the other allied health programs to one of your peers or classmates? And what reasons would you give them to join?
Yes, it's a fantastic way to determine if an allied health career is truly your passion. Starting in one area allows you to experience various roles firsthand, giving you a clearer idea of whether you want to pursue further education.
Well, Tayah, that's all I had for you today, and I'd like to thank you again for stopping in to give us your point of view and tell us a little bit about your experiences within the phlebotomy program.
Thank you so much for having me.
For more information about the phlebotomy program at Neosho County Community College or to get enrolled, visit neosho.edu/phlebotomy. That concludes this week's episode of the Continued Spotlight on Education presented by Neosho County Community College. My name is Huntyr Schwegman, and I'd like to thank you all again for tuning in today. Don't forget to come back next week as we highlight another amazing aspect of Neosho County Community College, and visit neosho.edu for more information and to enroll at NCCC. Go Show!